You know, what you think is more important, tu imagen o la música, el talento? What should you focus on more?
Tu imagen.
Yeah.
No solamente tu imagen, pero tú, como persona. You know, the first thing that they asked me when I sat down with the label, they didn't even ask me about music. They asked me, what do you gotta say?
I'm sorry to say.
No, oye.
And I don't want to go ham, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure they're great people, you know
yo la chanceo. ¿Sabes por qué?
¿Por qué?
Porque la cosa es que hay personas que they just do shit to do y hay personas que tratan. Like, yo, what's the difference between an independent artist and a signed artist? Y yo digo, uno te lo mete sin vaselina y el otro con sí. Y viene Lee y llama. Y yo, mira, Johnny, ¿qué tú quieres hacer con la nena? Y ellos me dijeron a mí que la única manera que yo iba a ser grande es si yo, ¿sabes? Me sexualizaba un poco más. Because unfortunately, I'm keeping a buck with everybody, sex does sell.
Bad Bunny, right, as a female artist with just basically on merit, you think that's still possible?
Claro que
Because
sí.
I'm starting to lose faith.
Bro, listen. The only reason why I say yes, and it's not to sound arrogant, the only reason why I say yes is because people like me exist.
Is that a problem, like, in your relationships with, like, you know, with the people you choose to date? Your loquería, your music,
Nah, you know,
creativity?
no, because the thing is que eso no va a cambiar.
Okay.
Para mí, yo no voy a cambiar eso por nadie. Por más, esa persona tiene que aceptarme tal y como soy.
Salimos en secundaria, ha pasado cuánto, pero no olvido tu cara después de tanto.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the Angel of Words podcast. I am your host, Angel of Words. As per usual, don't forget to tap on that subscribe button. Follow us on YouTube, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. Remember that Spotify has video now, so you can follow us on Spotify through video as well. And like I said, all podcast platforms. Folks, the sponsors today are Curtis Holmes, Eyes of the Soul. Go get that book. It is available on Amazon.com or at Barnes and Nobles. If you want a dope photo shoot, you got to go to BJS Photography. Go get them photos. Shout out to our guy, Brian J. Segura. And, you know, go get those services, man. They're available. DM them at Brian J. Segura on Instagram. Folks, I want to also talk to you about something that's very near and dear to my heart. My cousin, Jose Chacho Correa, is in need of a kidney. So if you know anyone that is willing to donate a kidney and it's something that they want to do for humanity, this is a young, vibrant fellow. He is a pastry chef of the highest order. You know, he can work right now and really realize his dream of being, you know, the best pastry chef on the planet. But, you know, if you guys know anyone that's willing to donate a kidney and help save a life, you know, reach out to us at Angel of Words ENT, and we would really appreciate that. And another shout out to DJ Stacky. Reach out to him at Mr. Stacky on Instagram. He helped us out with the production today. So big shout out to DJ Stacky doing his thing and, you know, helping us out. Look, man, putting things together is a team effort. And you got to use all the resources that you can and, you know, look out for people and have them look out for you if they can, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to him. Now on deck, on the Angel of Words podcast, we have La Leona from Washington Heights. Leslie is in the building. Welcome.
Thank you.
Manhattan's finest has arrived. This has been a long time in the
coming.
works. You know, we've been talking about this for a minute. We met at the Pereo Save My Life event. I think that one was Pereo Save Christmas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You know, we were able to get that first interview there. You know, we'll talk about what happened behind the scenes with that interview. You know, unfortunately, things went on that we couldn't air it, but shit happens, and we got you here today. So we really appreciate you giving us a second chance, Leslie.
No, thank you. I was very impressed by the first interview, tú sabes, and I don't really give interviews like that just because I like to kind of like stick to my own vibe and be in my own little corner in a way. Pero with you guys, it was just very dope and it was very respectful and it was very professional and I appreciate all those three things.
Oh, hey, you know, we're all about it over here. You know,
Yeah.
Jessie's not here today. She's the unprofessional side of Angel of Words podcast.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Jessie. But yeah, you know, it's really important for us and for us to really highlight artists and their artistry. You know, we've been listening to you for a while. You know, this has been, you know, something that we wanted to put in the works before you even knew it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Star Trek. He told me to reach out to you before we even reached out to you for the Pereo situation. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then, you know, luckily enough, one of the guys from Pereo Saved My Life said, yo, I know her manager. And then, you know, we were able to book you for that show. And then, you know, this is happening now. So it's funny how the things work. Now, I want to get down to the nitty gritty, Leslie. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to unpack. You've been doing music for a really long time, since you were 16, if I'm not mistaken. You know, you said your first music video where you were essentially in public was with Faru, you know what, Faruko. So, you know, could you explain that process and how you got into the music world?
Well, so I started off in a dance group because my first love was dance. It wasn't music just yet.
Interesting.
Pero my first love was dancing, and I was part of a very big dance group that we were very big on YouTube. We had a big ass platform. Our videos, we would put up videos, and we were essentially making content before content was even a thing. So we would get millions of views, millions of hits on our videos. And in that group, we had one rapper, and it was Alex. Shout out to Alex. So Alex was the one that told me one day, like, yo, come with me to the studio. And I was just like, okay. And then we went to the studio. And he was like, yo, you write anything? And I was like, I write poetry. He's like, that's the same shit. And I was like, no, it's not. He's like, yeah, it is. Whatever you got in your phone, just put it on this beat right here. And then after that, that was it. That was when I started like my musical journey and started getting into music. Fast forward a couple years, I met Johnny Rose, which is my current manager right now. Hey, Johnny. So Johnny was the one that he booked my team to do the Bronx Wine video with Farruko and BB Bronx. And since we were like kind of like the faces of the movement at the time. And so he got me at the set and we kind of just like spoke back and forth and we kind of just connected on the set. And after that, we started doing like our own thing where he reached out to me and we started making our own moves. And he actually was the one that shot Hot Chick, which was one of my first freestyle videos that I did, which is like 10 years ago. But yeah, so I did meet Farruko at that time. And Farruko was actually, you know, he was like 22. He's a little baby. He was still starting too. So that's how kind of all of that happened.
That's amazing. I mean, did you learn anything earlier on in that era? You know, because you said that you told me behind the scenes that you were doing clubs, team bashes and things of that nature, and like promoters would try to jerk you. So could you explain like being young and a little? I wouldn't say naive, but because I don't know you personally.
No, en verdad,
pero tú hablando claro, you know what that's like. Porque everybody thinks it's glitz and glamour, but there's a lot of hardships.
Éramos muy maduros, tú sabes. Era un grupo de teenagers. Éramos un grupo. And we were only like 15 at the time. And so, estábamos subiendo mucho video por YouTube y ahí comenzamos a hacer como quien dice un tour. A donde nosotros íbamos para different cities, Boston, PA, Connecticut. And we used to go host these team bashes. Y la cosa es que in the whole journey of that, we did run into issues with promoters and stuff like that, where we would literally like fill the places up, fill the clubs up with kids, and the money would just disappear. Cuando llegaba el momento de cobrar, nos decían de que no saben dónde está el dinero, que fulano se la robó, and then somebody robbed it, somebody took the money. And me just calculating on the side, I'd be like, hold up, because if we brought in like 300 kids and everybody paid 20 to get in, and we talking a lot of money, ¿tú me entiendes?
That's thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that's a couple bands.
Yeah.
So, and then like, I remember the most I got paid at a show was like $30.
Wow, man. Wow.
Yeah.
So you were used to the Diddy treatment before.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Diddy's crazy.
God,
Yeah,
man.
I was
That's
used
so
to the.
wild, man.
I've gotten, I've had a couple things, happen on my musical journey where it was just situations where I found myself even as a woman, because being a female in the industry is different than being a male in the industry.
Oh yeah, we talk about it a lot here on the
Yeah,
Worst
always,
podcast.
always, So starting off young, so yeah, the most I got paid
Yeah.
was like $30.
So how
for a
so? Like,
performance.
what do you mean? Like, could you elaborate a little bit on like being
Yeah.
treated as a woman in the industry?
Yeah, so in my experience, it's just like, being a female in the industry is very difficult because you have to navigate through a lot of males and, their egos and, their lust and whatever, because sometimes you have opportunities that come to you, but then they come to you for the wrong reasons. Maybe because they have second intentions, because they want to like get you into bed, or they want to have a close personal relationship with you. And then, you tell them like, no, nah. And then the opportunity kind of fails because that was their intention to begin with, not to actually, be a part of your process as an artist. And, many situations where too, I've participated in camps and writing camps for, in different occasions where I would have a group of only males because mostly it's a male-dominated industry. And let's say I give an opinion, and the same opinion was basically said by another person, and they pay attention to him rather than me when we both said the same exact shit, And that's how you kind of know there's already kind of like an inferior, like they label you as inferior just because you're a woman. And it's very sad. ¿Tú me entiendes? It's very fucking sad. También en el proceso mío con este álbum que tengo ahora mismo que estoy trabajando, I've worked with one female engineer. And that was like the first female engineer I've ever worked with.
Oh, they're tough to find, man. They're like finding a diamond in the ground.
What? And she was amazing. She was amazing. She was so amazing. And
well, shout out to her. What's her name?
Yeah. Bro, I forgot her name.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
But her name, I call her Jedi. Because that's her Jedi.
All right, cool.
But she was so dope, and she used to run basically the sessions for the studio in Miami.
Copy.
So when I was working over there, that's who I connected with the most over there, and it was so dope because finding a woman in this industry is insane.
Especially in the engineering world, man. That's
Hell yeah, they automatically start questioning whether you know what the fuck you're doing. They're like, what?
Yeah, man. Wow, that is so insane. And what role did your parents play in all of this?
Yeah. So,
because you seem like usually it helps when your parents are around to navigate these tough waters. So were they around for you?
Yeah, my mom in particular. My mom, she knew what I was since I was little.
Who I met, by the way. She's awesome.
Yeah, which you met. Yeah, she was there. She was there estaba perreando.
That's a fact, yeah.
Pero my mom, sí, desde chiquita ella siempre me apoyaba mucho because ella ya sabía. Like, she knew already. Yeah. Because I was already doing things that were kind of following that path. I was singing, I was dancing, I was even acting. And she just saw it. So she already knew. El que más o menos estaba en eso era my dad. Porque, ¿sabes? Mi papá was more on the... you got to become like something professional, which I was following at the time because I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
So cool. I was actually in a whole medical program. I was on my way until I found out que en ese proceso, when I was literally finishing up the program, que I didn't want to do this. Like, I liked it. I liked medicine, but I didn't love it. Like, like if they had me, and it was just because the chairman director of that program, I was kind of failing a little bit because I was more into the music stuff. So I was failing in school, and I was, and then she sat me down in a meeting and told me that es un hobby. Que es un hobby. I can't make a living off of it. Y que, yeah. And then when she said hobby, bro, like, eso me encendió todo lo que se llama alma. I was just like, nope, you're wrong. I quit.
No, eso te encojona.
Yo, bro, eso me llenó de una...
Cuando la gente me dice que este podcast, I was like, cuando yo empecé, I'm like, cuidado. Porque tú sabes que cuando yo brego bien. You know what I'm saying?
I'm stubborn like that. You tell me I can't do it, I'll do it 3 times. Wow. And I'll do it a 4th time for a little razzle dazzle.
Una vaina bien. And so you ended up here in the music, in the wide world of music, you know?
Pasando
With
trote,
the
pero estamos aquí.
debaucherous people that can't handle themselves. Man, yeah, you know, that's got to be tough, you know, especially, you know, being young and, you know, and everybody thinking that you may be naive navigating through that situation.
I know.
But you ended up signing a deal eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I want to talk about that deal signing process because you mentioned on the gram that somebody put in the contract que querían que tú te hicieras el cuerpo. That she had to get, folks, she had to get a body enhancement. It was in the contract that she had to do her body, que tenía que hacerte el cuerpo. Dime, háblame de eso. Háblame that whole contract situation.
Well, so when I had yo tenía como un momento viral en el 2018, and cuando yo hice el freestyle del Alfa.
Sí.
And after that whole freestyle, I had a bunch of labels como zoom pon de mí. And everybody was trying to sit down with me. I sat down with a lot of labels. I sat down with E1. I sat down with Compileta. But the first contract that I ever got offered, ellos me sentaron y ellos me dijeron a mí que la única manera que yo iba a ser grande es si yo, ¿sabes? Me sexualizaba un poco más. Because unfortunately, I'm keeping a buck with everybody, sex does sell. Pero it wasn't something that sat with my soul well. I didn't resonate with that, nor do I resonate with that to this day. Como ustedes ven mi página.
Yeah, but hay una diferencia de el sexo vende y la cafrería.
Y la cafrería.
¿Tú me entiendes?
Claro que
esos
sí, claro
diferentes niveles. Y And what I'm thinking, they were probably talking about like sex sells, like, yo, get scantily clad.
Yeah.
A little promiscuous vibe.
Sí,
¿Tú me entiendes?
sí.
And I'm like, you could be sexy and classy, dime.
Yeah, exactly. Pero la cosa es que women, we don't have that option as much.
Copy.
Ante. Mm-hmm. We didn't have that option as much where we can be like, oh, let me make it purely off of my personality, my charisma, and just who I am as a person. That wasn't a thing. Because remember, nosotros pasamos por una época where every girl was getting their body done, and BBLs up and down, y toda esa vaina, ¿tú me entiendes? Which I do not judge, I respect, because, you know, your body, your choice. But al final, for me in particular, my message is more about acceptance and more about accepting yourself as a person and self-love and just being natural. Because I think that's what I want to at least sell to the younger girls that want to pursue this career and think that that's the only route they need to take or have to take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they can do it purely off of their talent and who they are and what they stand for.
You really think that, Leslie, though? You think that in 2024, artists can come up and reach the successes of like a Bad Bunny, right? As a female artist with just basically on merit? You think that's still possible?
Claro que
Because
sí.
I'm starting to lose faith.
Bro, listen. The only reason why I say yes, and it's not to sound arrogant, the only reason why I say yes is because people like me exist.
Copy.
Where we do connect with our platforms.
That was very cocky, by the way, I must say. That's all right.
Me la voy a hacer. Yo misma. No. Pero lo digo porque lo digo because existen artistas como yo que estamos tratando. And not only that, pero it gets to a point where people se cansan de la misma mierda.
Claro.
Like, you know what I mean? I think in musically, we're all getting to a point where we're tired of seeing the same shit because everybody's starting to look the same. Todo el mundo, todas las mujeres, they're starting to look the same. They're starting to rap the same. They're starting to do the same things.
It's like Revenge of the Clones. It's like
exactly.
Star Wars over here.
Todas las mujeres, everybody looks the same now. Everybody looks the same, sound the same, dress the same, want to do everything the same. Y no hay persona, la única razón porque un tigre como Bad Bunny tiene su éxito is because he dared to be different. Mm-hmm. He didn't follow the same trends that the guys. He didn't come out with the Puerto Rican starter pack, the reggaetonero starter pack.
No, he did not.
Nah, he came up with a fucking third eye, un fucking ojo de culo maneja en his frente, bro.
That's a fact.
Él dijo, fuck it, I here. Y se puso a thing with nails on. You feel what I'm saying? He tested things that, he tested the normal. And that's why he's so successful, because he dared to be different. And a lot of people don't dare to be different. They rather stay the same because it feels safer. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like there's a possibility because there's women like me that exist, that we want to, vendemos con el carisma. ¿Tú me entiendes? Antes de tú enamorarte de mi música, te va a enamorar de mí. Facts.
I love that. I love that. No, porque es que la verdad, Leslie,
Sí.
esto está un poquito Un
Está
poquito
difícil.
brutal. Está brutal.
Qué
Está duro la
difícil me la
vuelta, like my
pusiste.
boy Fantástico says. You know what I mean? Está duro la
Está
vuelta.
está difícil.
You know, because I'm going to be honest, man, I see these girls like Yalin La Más Viral, and I'm like, yo, I haven't heard one song that this girl was ever on that's valid. I'm sorry to say.
No, oye.
And I don't want to go ham, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
they're great people, you know what I mean?
Yo la chanceo. ¿Sabes por
Yeah.
qué?
¿Por qué?
Porque la cosa es que hay personas que they just do shit to do y hay personas que tratan.
Ajá.
And para mí, ella está tratando. Like,
Yeah.
se le nota que está tratando. So, to
Sí.
me, ella no se merece ese odio que le dan.
Ajá.
No se la merece.
Copy.
Porque yo creo que ella, no vamos a decir que va a tener una voz, flor, tañón y flow, ¿tú me
Sí.
entiendes? Pero que ella está tratando,
Sí.
and you can't knock that. You can't knock somebody for trying. And es por eso que la respeto a ella.
Okay, all right, that's what's up, though.
Cada quien tiene su como quien dice, su base, su base fanático. Everybody has a place.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
There's a lit for every pot.
There's
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
Hay espacio para todo.
Hay espacio para todo. So we signed this contract, right? So all this is going on. You're going through this
Oh,
nonsense, right?
yeah.
Right? So then we get to you end up with White Lion, which is a very legendary record label and PR. You know what I'm saying? They were, at the forefront of the reggaeton movement that expanded across the world back in the early 2000s, late 90s. What was that like? Because, they signed some great artists back in the days,
Bro, tú
man.
sabes qué? So I sat down with a lot of labels y toda esa vaina, y después me llegó una llamada. Y la llamada fue de Elías de León. Y entonces Elías, ¿sabe? So everybody in White Line, we have this thing where we copy his voice. So I'm going to go ahead and do my impersonation of Elías.
Go ahead. Yeah, and it's legendary.
And it's legendary, so everybody know how we talk you know what I'm saying?
Fact.
So I'm going to do my thing right now. Okay, so I was with Johnny at the time. We were recording a lot in the studio because, tú sabes, las redes estaban prendidas, so I had to take advantage of that time. Y viene Elías y llama. Y yo, mira, Johnny, ¿qué tú quieres hacer con la nena? And then Johnny's like, cabrón, yo quiero un Grammy. And he's like, pues dale. Te voy a enviar la información para que tú me la traigas. And after that, bro, he booked the flight.
That was yo, Google this guy. That was probably one of the best impressions I've heard of Elías de León in my whole lifetime.
Yeah.
That was very, very good. Oh my God.
Sí, pues entonces Elías nos compró el vuelo. We went to Puerto Rico to meet him. And you know what's even funnier? I didn't know who Elías was. Nada, not because of not knowing White Lion, porque yo sabía quién era White Lion, porque Casa de Leones, tú me entiendes. Randy no está loca, que él estaba con Joel y Randy, lo tenía filmado. So I knew who White Lion was, pero no sabía cómo la cara detrás de White Lion, porque Elías casi no tiene foto.
Yeah, no,
El loco no tiene foto. Mira, yo le digo al viejo siempre, el loco tiene que tirarte más fotos, pero el loco no, él no tiene foto casi en las redes, so es bien difícil. So I was like, who the fuck? And then Johnny was like, bro, he like the P. Diddy of Puerto Rico. And I was like, ¿qué? And then that's when
hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Well, hopefully not.
Rephrase that.
Not right now.
Because in 2024, you can't say that anymore.
Damn. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Which makes me sad. I was a big fan of P.
sad.
Diddy growing up. I ain't gonna hold you, man. That was my guy from Harlem. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, everybody was doing the Diddy Bop.
Yeah,
but yeah, but he's big in Puerto Rico. He's one of the pillars for the movement over there. So for me to be like acknowledged by semejante figura, yo estaba como que, ¿qué? Y después de ahí, we worked it out. He actually también me consiguió, nos sentamos con Warner.
Okay.
Y después ahí es que yo hice el joint venture con Warner y White Lion.
Okay, Warner Latino.
Yeah, Warner Latina.
Nice. That's awesome. Now, so what's that process been like, man? Because, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The last time we spoke, you did speak on the fact that it's not easy being in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you want to put stuff out and do stuff, and you always have to wait for the okay in a sense.
For the okay in a sense, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I always get independent artists asking me, like, yo, what's the difference between an independent artist and a signed artist? Y yo digo, uno te lo mete sin vaselina y el otro con... Sí.
Oh, wow.
Because there's there's no escaping el trote. There is no escaping el trabajo.
Uh-huh.
Nothing makes it easier, nothing makes it smoother, no hay nada. El proceso es el proceso. No importa si tú eres independiente o estás firmado. ¿Tú me entiendes? Hasta peor cuando estás firmado. Porque tú tienes que bregar con mucha gente. And you got to sit down, have meetings, and talk to execs, learn the business part of the music, which is important. Pero a la misma vez, learning the business part, alguna vez te desencanta como
What
artista.
part specifically?
So I want to say, the process of, let's say, a release. We call it a rollout. Cuando estamos preparándonos para un release, we got to go through the whole thing. So you got to sign a release form. Everybody in the music video got to sign a release form. I have to send a label copy of a song, and we got to send this. It's a lot of paperwork. ¿Tú me entiendes? And not only that, pero in essence, la disquera no están aquí para ayudarte y moldearte como artista. That's not their job.
Wow.
It's not their job to
So,
mold you.
no te dan estudio en cómo manejarte en la tarima, ni cómo manejarte con la prensa, ni con gente que te quieren hacer la entrevista.
You could get media training, and sometimes they offer that. Pero a la misma vez, no. Now, these days, I don't know about the 90s and early 2000s. I can only speak about what's happening
No, we got to
now.
speak about what's happening now.
Exactamente.
That was a long time ago.
The labels, no moldean a artista. Ellos no lo moldean. Right now, we're in a very fast-paced time, and there's so much shit happening on a daily basis just because of TikTok, Instagram, all these platforms. And so music is moving at a very quicker pace. So there's no time de que para sentarnos y moldearte como artista. That doesn't exist. Now it's all about consistency. And with consistency, we need a lot of music. So if we need more music, we need to have you constantly creating. So no hay tiempo, como quien dice, para sentarte y ayudarte en tarima, ponte en tarima para enseñarte cómo cantar, cómo how to carry yourself, No. That's why you see a lot of new artists, for example, that they pop off and they get hot, but when they hit the stage, everybody's like,
¿Qué pasó?
¿Y esta vaina?
My
¿Y yo
God.
pagué para esto? Pero it's true.
Oh my God, I didn't mean to. You can continue.
Nah, you go ahead. Nah.
No, because I'm like, wow, wow, now I see why. Because, I'm a person who loves the artistry of music.
Mm-hmm.
Like hardcore. Like, even when, I've been listening to music, people are like, yo, well, how you know that? ¿Tú me entiendes? Because I love the way people have call to attention on stage, how they get the crowd to react.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How they play around with the microphone. You know what I mean? How they interact with their musicians on stage.
Yeah.
I pay attention to all of that.
You come from a very, very, very classic time.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But I feel like, there's still artists in 2024 que hacen eso.
Yeah.
¿Tú me entiendes? And I'm like, people are mimicking the wrong artists.
Wrong artists, yeah. It's because things get hot, and a lot of the times it just be the most it'd be like, vamos a decir, the most popping song on TikTok.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Y esa persona explota. ¿Tú me entiendes? And getting big like that, and it's an exaggeration of how big people get from night to day. It's insane how it's that quick. Like, it's literally a 180. Like, that's how big you can get from today to tomorrow. You get one hit single, your whole fucking life changes. So these are people that get hot, pop off, and then they have to learn in the learning process. And it's insane because that's when they get critiqued. They get bashed because they don't know what they're doing. And it's because, bro, they literally don't know what they're doing. They're learning right now. And the problem is that they're learning while they're hot. And that's the worst thing that could happen. Yo siempre he dicho que la peor cosa que le puede pasar a un artista es pegarse.
Wow.
Because it's a lot to handle. It's a lot to handle if you're not prepared for it. Y además, hoy en día, es hasta más peor. Because you get a hot single, that should last you like 2 months. You gotta have something. You gotta have something on the table. You gotta have an album. You have to have something ready to go right after. Like, immediately. So that you can keep that ball rolling. Because hoy en día, you hot today, y después la otra semana, todo el mundo se olvidó de ti porque salió fulano con una canción nueva. You're yesterday's paper.
Wow. So what's going on with your music, Leslie? Because I'm sure that, I know you said you got an album coming out soon. What's the name of it again?
APT2A.
Okay, APT2A. Okay, we'll leave it like that. I like that better. You know what I mean? I'm all about trying to stay as low key as you possibly can in 24. APT2A. But you've made a lot of music over the course of time. And does it frustrate you that you haven't been able to? Have you been able to release? Well, let me ask you this: have you been able to release as much music as you've wanted to release, or what's going on?
No, just because I had to go through a very difficult process, at least for me mentally, for my growth as a person and as an artist. So cuando yo filmé, I did not know much about the business. And then when I did sign, all the business. Because I got signed, when we were talking about how I got signed during pandemic. Like, I got signed literally when the pandemic hit. I got the deal.
No.
Yeah. So
like
then,
January type vibes.
Like, bro, worse, when everything was locking down. That was when the paperwork was going back and forth. Y toda esta vaina, like, yeah.
Oh, no. That must have been nuts.
Insane, bro, insane. It was the most insane time because it was like the process was happening. Después tú tienes el mundo de cabeza. And then I'm like, what the fuck? And then we're going through that process, and it took a minute, obviously, because of a lot of pandemic things that we couldn't control. So I ended up signing everything officially in el verano. So it took months for even that process. Y después, cuando el mundo se estaba como cerrando, me and my manager was like, bro, we need to start this album. And then he's like, how the fuck are we gonna do that? Everything's locking up. I'm like, bro, listen, we got an option. Nos mudamos. And then that's when we picked up and moved to Puerto Rico.
Really? That was a great place to be during the pandemic. I was there during the pandemic for a little while.
Bro, I was there.
So you got to work. You were able to really get busy in the studio? So
algo así, because that took its time too, because Puerto Rico en ese tiempo estaba cerrando todo temprano. So if you was caught outside at a certain time, it was like, tú me entiendes?
And it wasn't a situation where you had the equipment
Yeah,
ready to go.
I wasn't.
Oh, you had to go to a studio.
I had to go to a studio. I had to go to White Lion para grabar.
Okay, now in retrospect, do you wish that you had your own equipment and your crib?
Hell yeah, bro. That would have saved me so much time. Aunque yo no sabía cómo grabarme todavía, pero during the pandemic, I had to learn. So I learned how to use Pro Tools, because at one point we got to a point where we just got equipment, because we was like, fuck it, like, we can't go to the studio. We might as well start recording. So we got speakers, a whole thing, and we got a whole setup allá, and I was already recording.
What do you think makes you different than every other artist? Like, why do you feel you've gotten to this point in music?
I feel like it's because of my personality.
Okay.
Who I am, what I stand for. Just because todo el mundo hace música and everybody does it. There's better musicians than me. There's better singers and songwriters than me. And there's a lot of people that do a lot of the things that I do better at better levels, at higher levels. Pero para mí lo que me hace diferente is just me. My personality, my voice, who I am, my charisma. I think I'm able to connect with people very easily. And I think that's how I've been able to even grow my platforms. ¿Tú me entiendes? Porque aunque yo no pude, ¿sabes? Sacar música ni nada, yo a través de mi video y mi contenido y quién soy, cómo hablo, la gente de Gravity. So, yo creo que la música es de menos. Para mí ahora mismo, la música es de menos. And for every other artist, I think music is a second thing that you should be big with you.
Really? So you feel that? Because, I just asked that question last week on the podcast that just dropped. Like, what you think is more important? Tu imagen o la música, el talento? What should you focus on more?
Tu imagen.
Yeah.
No solamente tu imagen, pero tú, como persona.
Interesting.
La razón es porque cuánto artista y cuántas personas talentosas conocemos en este mundo.
Hay mucho.
We know a lot. We know a lot of great singers, a lot of great songwriters, incredible songwriters. We know great producers. And we all everybody does everything at high levels, right? But really, really, what makes a person, an individual, special? And it's really them. It's really their voice and what they got to say. The first thing that they asked me when I sat down with the label, they didn't even ask me about music. They asked me, what do you got to say?
Wow.
Yeah, they asked me, what do you have to say?
What's your message to the world?
What's your message?
Really? They asked you that?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
¿Tú me entiendes? Shout out to Warner.
What'd you tell them?
And I told them, I was like, I gave them a fucking eclectic ass answer, I remember, but básicamente lo que yo dije fue que lo más importante en esta vida es ser una persona buena. Now be kind, be amable. Because, and not only that, pero ser natural. Sea just be you naturally in all aspects, not just de que body-wise, image-wise, pero también en tu forma de ser. Not be transparent, don't be afraid, be vulnerable. Because all of that, to me, all of those are strengths, And that was mostly my message. Mi mensaje es también, I like to make people feel good because as a kid, I've been through a lot of different things in life, from all the way to the music, all the way to even home. So for me, it's just, I've always thought music was a way to alleviate that for people. ¿Sabe? Como que cantar ayuda a la gente a sanar. And if my voice can do that for you, then I did my job. ¿Te entiendes? Muy profundo, ¿verdad?
No, me encanta. Tú eres un cáncer como yo. Tú sabes. Ya tú sabes. El 13 de julio, ya tú sabes. Mira.
16 de julio,
somos
que viven los cancerianos.
Profundos. Que viven los cancerianos. Llegamos el momento. We've reached a point where it's time to play Jesse's Weird Question.
Oh, damn. Shout out to Jesse, bro. I wanted to meet him.
I know, man. We wish that she could be here. Unfortunately, man, she was in a tight spot and she needed to take care of some
Shout out to you,
business.
I wish she was here.
You'll probably see her at an event down the line. You know what I mean? You never know. She's always around.
Claro.
But Jesse's weird question today is, all right, you were locked up.
Oh, shit.
Did you enjoy the taste of the sandwiches that they brought to the jail cell?
Bro! Espérate. Yo no llegué a un jail cell. Yo llegué al precinto. Porque no llegué a procesarme. Yo no fui tan yo no soy tan bandida. Porque la cosa es que mine was what's it called? Trespassing?
Yeah.
So it was a misdemeanor, okay? Yo no estoy, which is crazy that
Well, they put you in the tombs in New York for misdemeanor.
Yeah, for precinct. Oye, no, muchacho, okay, this is what happened. So I was in my producer's studio at the time, and he lived in the Bronx. A very hot area in the Bronx, by the way, like East Burn Avenue. De esa vaina está para allá, para Clay, por allá. So that's a very hot spot. And I was working on some stuff with him, ¿verdad? And it was actually a school night. So I was like, I finished and I was heading downstairs. I was cool with some of the dudes in the lobby, so yo me paré para saludar a todo el mundo. Like, yo, what's up, bro? ¿Qué lo que eres? Y, ay, no, yo me por la casa, Ahí mismo, cuando yo me iba, entraron DTs, como like 5.
Wow.
Como y yo dije, oh, shit, espérate, ahí, se fue la luz. Y ahí mismo yo me frisé. So entonces, they told everybody to stand still, and I was just like, okay. Y después ahí, todo el mundo para la pared, incluyéndome a mí, tú para la pared. Digo, diablo, pero yo ni estaba ni aquí, bro. And I was just like, damn. So ahora yo estoy en la pared así.
No, that's great. Stop and frisk status.
Yeah, stop and frisk status. Entonces yo estaba fuck. Entonces, una de las policías me dice a mí, ¿dónde tú estabas? Y digo, yo estaba en el estudio. I was here recording some music. And then she was like, what apartment? And now, el loco mío, ¿sabes? Porque todo el mundo en la música siempre está en una vaina, pero el loco mío, tú sabes, fuma. Él fuma, it's the summer, el verano, summertime, el AC booming, él fumado y loco. El loco se me durmió. So yo estaba tocando la puerta de que to confirm my alibi. Y el loco no recogió. El loco no.
No. Y los policías no, ellos
casi
tratan de tumbar esa puerta.
Ya tú sabes. Era un tum. Y el loco no respondía porque de una vez cuando él tranca su puerta y tiene el aire prendido y está fumado, ya se fue.
Ya se fue.
Oye, el fin del mundo
Está
puede
volando.
llegar. El loco no me escucha.
Uf.
Y entonces,
vibes.
ya tú sabes, bajó la oficial y dijo de que no confirmamos su historia, llévansela. And I was like, fuck. So I was in the back of a paddy wagon.
Oh,
cuffs.
no.
Everybody saw me coming out the building with the cuffs on. Everybody like, damn, free Leslie. I was like, no, don't jack that. Don't do that.
Yo.
Oye, yo llegué al precinto, loco, and they cuffed me to a chair.
Yeah.
You know, because they cuff you to a chair when they don't got no room in the cell.
Yeah.
So yo estaba ahí, había un loco, ahí me meto dentro del cell y que, diablo, mami. Tú sí te ves rica así, de que cuffed. And I was just like, sáquenme de aquí, yo me quiero ir para mi casa.
That's crazy, for real?
Y yo llorando el teléfono, mami.
Did they bring you food, the cops?
No, acá me van a dar.
They weren't nice enough to bring you some food?
No, bro.
Really? That's interesting.
They thought I was a delinquent. And mami, yo la llamé a decir, mami, yo me quiero ir para allá. ¿Qué fue lo que te dio? No hice nada. Yo, mami. Yo, bro, it was a whole show.
Oh, man. Bad.
It was bad.
Oh, man. Well, that was Jesse's weird question and a deep dive into Jesse's alleged arrest. You know what I'm saying? Well, that wasn't alleged. You did get arrested.
I did get arrested.
You know what I mean? The behind the scenes of what happened afterwards. And folks, Leslie will be performing today a medley of some of her best songs. So stay tuned to that. The podcast is sponsored by Curtis Holmes, Eyes of the Soul. Shout out to OTW Threads. I'm wearing that hat today. But the podcast is sponsored by Curtis Holmes, Eyes of the Soul, available on Amazon.com and on Barnes & Nobles. And BJS Photography. Go get them photos. And every guest that's been on the Angel of Words podcast gets a special discount on a professional entertainment photo shoot by that dude who has shot at Gran Combo. He's been at Radio City. This guy is valid. So you already know. Go get them photos, BJS Photography. Now we move on in the podcast. Leslie, it's 2024. What should we be expecting from you now moving forward in this music game? You know what I mean? You've been through a lot. Are you working with new producers? Like, what's going on right now?
I actually got the chance to reconnect with the producer one of the producers that first took me into the studio. And I feel like it all kind of like
goes full circle?
Yeah. I'm going through a very full circle moment right now.
Nice.
And I actually got to connect back with him, and he was one of the first producers that I worked with when I was 16. And his name is The Hyphen. So shout out to The Hyphen. Bro, para mí es el Kanye dominicano.
Okay.
Because he's so like different. So I connected back with him, and he's the one that I'm working with right now. Currently.
Different how? Like different musically?
Musically.
What do you think separates him from other types of styles of music that you've heard so far?
He's not afraid to mix sounds, and he's not afraid. He's a beast at sampling. And that's a very New York thing.
Yes.
That's a very hip hop thing.
Yeah.
And he's just a dude that likes to test the waters. He's not scared to come up with a new sound. And bro, hasta sin querer, bro, he invents his own genres. Like I've heard some stuff from him all the time, and he dares, and that's what I like.
Are you jumping into some new genres? Like what's happening right now?
I'm you know what's up? I'm dibbling and dabbling all over the place.
Okay.
Porque I'm in a place where
Are you still trying to look for your sound, like in a sense?
In essence, yes.
Okay.
And I think for me, it's just figuring out the things that I like the things that I like, and the things that I want to test, and the things that I want to try if I haven't tried it. But I think to my advantage is that I rap and I sing, so I'm able to do both very well. So it's like como Drake dice, every song is like me featuring me.
I love that. I love Drake.
I love Drake too. That's my man.
I ain't gonna hold you.
I love him too. He's one of my inspirations
the GOAT, too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I know Suave will be very happy to hear me say that. Okay, cool. All right. So, all right. What's your process like though, when it comes to like creating music?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's extremely important. I know a lot of artists are out here trying to figure out, am I doing things the right way?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we all know there's not a right way. What's your way? What's your process like?
I think I was one of those artists at one point. ¿Tú me entiendes? I was definitely one of those artists a donde yo me dejaba llevar más de la gente que cualquier otra cosa, hasta que you start to understand your own voice and you start to understand that there's things that you like. And for me, my process is I'm very all over the place. Bro, when I'm in the studio and I'm listening to a beat, you will see I will never sit down. Like, that's one thing in every studio they told me, la loca no se siente. I do not sit down. Because my mind is like, it races and I get like mad ideas at the same time. So you will see me pacing back and forth in the studio. Like this. Ping, 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 ping.
I like that.
Like back and forth. So I'm very also very intimate in my process creating. I don't like to have many people there. I like to have just me and my producer. And that's it.
Oh, great. You're my favorite artist already. Porque
a mí no me gusta la gente.
Están fumando blunt.
Bro, and
they're spilling liquor all over the boards. I'm like, this stuff costs like $20,000. Like, what are we doing?
Like I'm very intimate. Like, a mí me gusta estar sola. Like,
okay.
I don't drink either. I don't drink or like I'm under the influence of anything while I'm recording or singing. ¿Sabes? Porque yo quiero que todo salga bien.
Sí.
You know, even if I just come up with an idea.
Oh, interesting. So there are no controlled substances involved in your creation of music.
No.
Interesting.
Not at all.
That's a nice little, it never used to be a change, but now it's like a change. Like,
now it's like weird. Like, damn, you don't do nothing?
Well, wow.
Wow, you don't smoke? You don't smoke weed? No, I don't.
I feel like, once you're crazy, that's all you need, ¿verdad?
Yeah. No, es que la loquera mía no hay remedio. No hay remedio para la loquera mía.
Is that a problem, like, in your relationships with, like, with the people you choose to date? Your loquería, your music, your creativity?
No. Because the thing is que eso no va a cambiar.
Okay.
Para mí, yo no voy a cambiar eso por nadie. Por más, esa persona tiene que aceptarme tal y como soy and don't try to change my essence. And I feel like that's something like, in relationships, people don't know how to love in a very healthy way. And so a lot of people treat others like possessions, like, I own you, or like you're mine, or that kind of just. So yeah, I don't let, and I'm a girl, bro, I went to therapy. Okay.
Really?
I'm pro therapy.
No, but thank you, Leslie. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's extremely important that if you've gone through some traumatic situations, that you try to aid that trauma. And sometimes you do need a therapist because you need to right that ship. And not for nothing, I always say this, because women tend to be more emotional than males in terms of like on a day-to-day basis.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's good to like, balance that out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro, like I'm very, very pro, like, you gotta go to therapy. Like, bitch, you gotta go to therapy.
Okay.
Come on, my man. You gotta go to therapy. Just because, like,
that.
yeah, I'm very pro therapy. And I tell my friends all the time, especially if they're doing some bullshit.
Yeah.
I always tell, and, women, we usually get away with a lot of things because we're women. And so there's a lot of things that we get away with.
Yeah.
Like emotional manipulation and things like that come from having an absent father and then having a mother that kind of bashes the dad. And then you grow up with that kind of like anger. Then your mom is teaching you that men ain't shit. And then you grow up with that mentality. And so you over here treating other people's sons like they ain't shit. And I made sure I made that a priority for me to fix because I was on that path.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
God bless you.
We need men.
No, we do.
We love you, kings.
Yo,
we love you, kings.
This girl gets it. God bless her. You know what I'm saying?
We love you, kings.
Who was that song Secundaria written about? Is that one of the traumatic?
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. Yeah, I had this high school crush or whatever.
Okay.
And so through that trauma thing, like, the reason why I didn't date much and growing up and stuff like that is because I was very scared.
Okay.
I was very scared of love and I was very scared of men. But y'all don't scare me now.
Okay.
Nah, but I used to, so I would not say anything whenever I had a crush on a guy. I would never tell him anything. And maybe y'all could tell me different, but the thing is, for me, I was a little ugly duckling in high school.
Okay.
Like, I really hit my prime after high school. You feel me? I got fine after high school. I think I'm pretty. I'm decent right now. But, like, so I never used to tell guys because I was very insecure. I never used to tell guys that I liked them. So I would like them like on the low.
Well, you shouldn't have to tell guys that you like them.
I know.
You throw social cues, honey.
I mean, yeah, but get the fuck out of here. Some of y'all be dense as hell. I've been meeting even men my age that be dense.
You don't want a guy that's dense. You want a guy that's táltaro.
Tú me entiendes que
sabio.
Ajá,
Si,
que
que si
tiene
tú le estás
tigueraje.
mandando los signos, yo, espérate, esta mami.
La luz verde está allá.
Tú no quieres que
No, pero el thing es, loco, pero es que llévate
no.
de mí. Yo he conocido locos que, like tigres, que I've had to like, I'm either gonna put I'm gonna have to fucking draw a big ass sign, bro, and just color it green and just put it like this.
Nah,
because you're not getting
that's
it.
doing too much.
Pero tú me entiendes. Pero me ha pasado.
Okay.
Pero like, yeah, I've never used to tell guys that I like them, so I would like them on the low. And because I would like them on the low, I would either write about them in my diary or something like that. Like, tú me entiendes, ese flow. So, secundaria.
That's so cool. You still have a diary?
Yeah, I do. I journal.
That's
Write in your journals.
It's healthy.
Yeah, it's a healthy way to, like, especially si tú eres una persona que sufre de ansiedad
Sí.
and you have racing thoughts frequently, it's a good way to kind of just like alleviate that so that, you can calm down.
That's fine.
Pero yeah, I never used to tell guys that, so I would keep it on the low, write about them in my diary, like, oh my God, he looked at me today.
Trying to manifest it.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to manifest it and shit, have him like me. Pero secundaria is about a guy that I liked in high school and that we ended up meeting again. I didn't go to college. I did not go to college. I went straight into my profession.
Okay.
Pero he was in college and he was doing his thing. Y como a través de amistad y vaina, it was kind of like we saw each other and it was just like, damn, he fine as fuck. He got a beard now and shit. Because when I saw you, he was a fetus. But now he's like a whole grown ass man.
That's what's up.
But yeah, that song was about that.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, thank you for being candid. I love the stories behind songs. What's your favorite song that you've written to this point?
Damn. The recent one that is on my album, it's called, I want to call it, it still doesn't have a name, but I recorded it recently. And it was basically about this one experience that I had with a guy. Que you ever met a person que te gusta y ustedes, and you got like this intense connection, pero you know that it wouldn't work out.
Oh, that happens to me all the time. I
Ay,
think every
qué
single
trauma.
relationship I'm traumatized like a mother lover. You crazy? There's no amount of therapy that can save me. I have to start lighting crystals and Palo
Ay,
Santo.
Dios.
Everything I got these crystals on top of here, bro. Ya tú sabes.
De que de sage y
That's
vaina.
it. Es que yo,
dándole una sobadita a
Ya
la
sé, I got
Buda.
the Buddha, yo. I say I got a prayer, I got my elefante, tú sabes. Porque
Vamos a poner
la
a Ángel
situación está grave.
Está grave.
Está grave la
Vamos a poner a
situación.
Ángel en una cadena de oración.
Yo
todo el
creo que
mundo.
sí, mija. Voy a tener que estar ahí 24/7.
Va a tener
Ya
que
lo
tú,
sabes.
va a tener tú que poner San Valentín de cabeza.
That's it.
No, pero yeah, I mean, yeah, that song was about that. It was como esa persona.
Mhm.
And in the song I talk about how there's just some people that you meet que it be wrong timing, but it be
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
those connections tend to be very fucking intense, very intense. But they end very abruptly, and that's why they hurt so much. So, and the crazy part about that is that it's on one of the genres that you least expect it to be on. It's on a Jersey beat.
Word.
Yeah, like literalmente, I turned it into like a kind of like an R&B dark kind of Jersey. I'll let you listen to it later.
Oh, I like
Pero
that.
es bien diferente.
I like dark music. I like to get in my bag. You
In
know
your
what I mean?
bag.
Yo soy masoquista, low
Ay,
key.
ay,
tú
ay, ay. Que vivan los sádicos.
Ya tú sabes. ¿Verdad que tenemos problemas nuestros latinos? Yo
Ay,
quiero hablar de eso, actually. You know what I mean? Like, keeping it a buck because, like, I have an issue sometimes with Latin artists,
Mhm.
right? And the issue is the lack of hubris, too much ego,
Yeah.
right? It's like, man, you haven't even done nothing yet. Like, and I'm trying
Y ya
to,
que tú
tú
sí.
sabes, and I'm trying to have a conversation with you, or I'm trying to help you in a certain way. Yo, y saben todo. You can't tell them nothing.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like, I wish we weren't like that because I would like for us to work together more, like on a substantial level, not because I'm just trying to get something out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something that's concrete. And I feel like it's unfortunate that it's heavy on the competition and light on the substance. What do you feel about that situation?
Bueno, yo le doy gracias a Dios que yo conocí a Johnny because he really
Yeah.
molded me into becoming the artist that I am today. Because primero, él me encontró chamaquita. I was like 16. So
Yeah.
imagine lo cabezúa que yo era at that time.
Oh,
yo.
man, rough
Especially with my personality, come on.
Rough.
Pero él siempre me sentaba. He used to explain things to me. So he really
Yeah.
played the father role in my life. Pero él me sentaba siempre y me dice a mi Leslie, mira, tú siempre en la vida, not only just in artistry, but en la vida tú tienes que mantenerte como una esponja. Always be teachable. Because if you're not teachable, you will never grow. And once you hit that point in your life que nadie te puede decir nada, que tú sabes todo, it's gonna go really bad because you always have to learn. You always have to learn and continue to be teachable. And yeah, that's what he used to always tell me that. Always tell me that. So I used to say this. I used to say the phrase, I know. That's like everybody's favorite phrase. Like, no, yo sé. No, yo sé.
Oh,
No,
man.
yo sé, I know. No, yo sé.
Super annoying.
Annoying as fuck. Y yo tenía ese hábito, o sea, que yo tenía esa misma maña. Until he told me, like, change it. And then I changed it from I know to I understand. Or I want to know more. Or explain. ¿Tú me entiendes? So, para yo poder aprender, aunque en ese momento yo no quería aprender o no tenía la gana de aprender, I would kind of check myself and be like, espérate. Because you don't know what that person might be teaching you. So, ask why, or say, explain. Can you explain?
Can we talk about the clout chasing situations within the Latino genres of music?
Es que loco, mira, todo el mundo, bro, cree que se la saben todo.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the Latino. And I always explain this to Johnny too, that we have a problem where we reach a level of success and it's like, ya. Tú me entiendes que ya, I know everything because I've been through this and I've been through that. Pero mentira. Even in life, tú nunca dejas de aprender. You keep learning until the day you leave this earth and you transition.
That would be ideal.
¿Tú me entiendes?
Yeah.
Entonces, I keep myself teachable for those reasons because I never want to plateau. I want my crecimiento to always be exponential. I always want to, the Leslie you meet today is probably not the Leslie you'll meet next year.
I hope not. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
no,
I hope we're
como
doing,
yo soy.
I hope
no.
we're doing this interview on a mountain somewhere in Puerto Rico.
Coño,
tú sabes,
¿verdad?
you know
Celebrando un Grammy.
That's it, tú sabes.
Oye, eso se va a manifestar. Espérate, dame sobarle la Buda.
That's it. Word, man.
Vamos a sobar la
Right
Buda.
after you, yeah. Good vibes. Another thing real quick, right? You know, when these major artists get tan caliente, they come out, they doing these shows, and then, you know, all the up and coming artists, they want to come out and, you know, spend $2,000 on a table, sell like 50 tickets for the artists and come out and perform. And they don't even get to even take a picture with the artist that was supposed to be there or meet their management, or like there was, you know, there was no intention behind that. Que te fueron para allá para la película.
Como quien dice, sí, la película.
Para la película.
Yo digo
that gets me so frustrated.
So it gets me frustrated.
Because I'm like, if you're going to spend all that chicken, bring your merch. Tú me entiendes?
Like, I've been
Yo, make sure that you
times.
get like at least I don't even know, like back in the days, it used to be like a sign and greet, meet and greet. At least get a meet and greet. Dime.
Sí.
Out here spending bread for la película.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
at least make the película, get those box office sales.
At least do
Dime.
something. Tú me entiendes. Yo siempre digo, like, si tú vas a gastar dinero en algo, que sea algo que te lo va a devolver de una manera o la otra. It doesn't have to be a feature, but it could be a sit down. Because like for me, for example, I've been in plenty of situations donde artistas me han dado como the cold shoulder. Y whatever. Pero a mí no me importa, te voy a sacar algo. Like, and I think the first one was con Farru. He never gave me the cold shoulder because Farru is a very humble guy. He's so humble, he's so cool about everything. So cuando yo al principio lo conocí, él estaba en el artitaje, estaba en el peliculeo, pero in the moment that I got the opportunity to ask him a question, I asked him, which turned into a sit down. Y un sit down con un artista que te lleva pila de años y todavía está, to this day, relevant. De una manera o la otra, es the best thing.
2 años atrás ese tipo estaba más pegado que
bro,
lo que se queda atrás
increíble.
del arroz, tú sabes.
¿Tú me entiendes? Pero un sit down con él valió más que cualquier otra cosa porque yo pude aprender de alguien que, bro, estaba ahí joseando también como estoy yo. So, it's just as an artist, you always have to measure that. You feel what I'm saying? If you gotta spend 2 bands out of your pocket just to do something like that, que tú no le vas a sacar nada, don't do it. Don't do it because those 2 bands could have paid you to get more merch for yourself or paid you for more promos for your music, or it would have been just a good investment for yourself, seguramente para invertir en getting a setup in your house or something for you. You know what I mean? Being around another artist does not guarantee success. Their fan base is their fan base and they don't give a fuck about you. Trust me. Porque hay pila de artistas y también hay pila de artistas que creen que, no, yo quiero hacer un featuring con Brian Myers y se van a pegar mañana. El fanático de Brian Myers no de ti, no te conocen. So you have to make a name for yourself. Just being around other people that are famous doesn't guarantee you shit. It doesn't guarantee you nothing, actually. O especialmente hoy en día.
Thank you.
Yeah, no paguen sus 2,000, oye, no paguen sus 2,000 pesos para una colaboración. Olvídase de eso, que eso no te va a hacer nada. Esos 2,000, inviértetelo en ti.
I always say that. Make your own name, man.
Make your own
be
name.
Your own movement.
Yeah, be your own person.
It's going to take a long time, but que se joda. Yeah,
que se joda.
That I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
And well, you know, that's always been my theory. I don't want to say that I'm right or I'm wrong. But,
Nah.
You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Mira,
Yeah.
Mucha gente me decían a mí, after que yo negué esa firma, about the whole get your body done, they were offering me to get my body done, like fly me out of Colombia, ponemos muñeca a muñeca.
No, pero déjame aquí en los Estados
Oye, ¿tú sabes
Unidos?
cuántas mujeres se habían muerto por esa oportunidad? Que hoy en día se mueren por esa oportunidad. Yo dije, no, mi amor, no, thank you.
La amiga mía casi se muere el otro día.
¿Tú me entiendes? Loca, mira, yo respeto a cada quien que quieren hacer su cuerpo y vaina. Tú sabes, mami, haz lo tuyo, haz tu diligencia.
Ajá.
Pero tú me entiendes, es una cosa, loco, que uno se arriesga casi la vida.
Sí.
Porque tú literalmente te montas en una mesa, te cortan como una vaquita muerta y después de ahí tú tienes que pasar la sobadera. La otra prima mía también se hizo el cuerpo loco y casi se muere de un...
Una inyección.
No, un blood clot.
Ok.
No sé cómo se me pasó cómo se dice eso en español, pero sí. Casi se muere por un blood clot. Una burbuja de sangre que se le
un
taponcito, ajá. Entonces, la cosa es que para mí no vale la pena, pero para otras sí, porque depende. Pero, tú sabes, me dijeron a mí que si no me lo hago, que no iba a ser exitosa. Y hay pila de gente que me han dicho, loca, mira, ponte la quija más chiquita. Y vaina así, like, go get operations y vete, like, you know, modificarme. Y yo siempre he dicho que no. Aunque me tarde a mis 10, 20 años yo llegar a la música, llegar a donde quiera estar, no me importa.
Es que, Lely, también hablando de eso, y lo tengo que decir, perdóname, mi gente. Pero si te vas a hacer el cuerpo para después venir y estar cortándote con un pile de tigre,
Yeah.
es un problema. Porque
Es que tú tienes que saber eso.
no-
Off the rip. Tú sabes que después que tú te des el cuerpo, la atención no va a ser la atención que tú quieres. Va a ser la atención que tú no quieres. Y ya las mujeres de por sí recibimos la atención que no queremos.
Ujú.
Porque hay muchas veces que nosotras las mujeres, tú sabes, mujeres que estamos en el joseo y estamos serios en la cosa de nosotras, like, recibimos esa atención. Yo puedo estar en un estudio, bro, con un su así, como estoy.
Una
Y el
sudadera.
tigre va a encontrar la manera de decir, diablo, loca, está rica.
Oh,
Y yo ahí tapadita. ¿Tú me entiendes? El loco la va a encontrar porque mientras tanto que tú eres mujer, loco, olvídate de eso. O sea, imagínate una mujer hecha. Ya olvídate si tú cantas, porque te van a ver, tú cantas, vamos a ver lo que hace esa garganta también.
Yo, y también...
¡Hueso!
Es que, mami, es que yo hablando claro, y
Es
después
la
la cosa
verdad.
es que quieren esposo.
Está difícil.
Está duro la vuelta.
Está difícil. Yo todavía no he encontrado una mujer hecha que tiene esposo y que está fijo.
No, ese es el problema, que ningún hombre se quiere casar con una mujer así.
Ay, Dios mío. I just had that conversation los otros días con los panas míos, because la cosa es que las mujeres tienen que entender que ya los hombres, ellos piensan diferente que nosotras. Los hombres son otra vuelta. Nosotros las mujeres sabemos cómo pensamos. Pero los tigres son otra vuelta, porque los tigres piensan como tigres, ¿sabes? Pero yo me siento y tengo muchos amigos de amistad en el negocio, que el 90% son hombres.
Ajá.
Y yo me he sentado y he tenido conversaciones con ellos, loco, y ellos yo la mente, hueso, ¿es verdad, loco? Sí, loco. Y entonces tú ves cómo los hombres de verdad piensan. And it was just like, wow. Pero mira, yo tengo amigas que están hechas y amigas que no. Y las amigas que están hechas, yo conozco muchas mujeres que están hechas y son bacanas. Las que no son bacanas son las mujeres que lo hacen su personalidad. Que they make it their personality. They make their looks their personality. Ahí es que tú fallas. Está difícil.
Está brutal la situación, Lely. Pero mira, Lely, we reached a point in the podcast where it's time to play 5 words with Angel. All right, now, Leslie, on 5 words with Angel, I'm going to give you a word, a phrase, or a question, and I'm going to give you the first word. You're going to give me the first word that comes to your head. Are you ready?
Let me lock in. Dale.
All right, and 5 Words with Angel, sponsored by Eyes of the Soul by Curtis Holmes and BJS Photography. Go get them photos. The first word is school lunch.
¡El hueso! The best show in the world. Yeah. That's my show. School lunch. My family, my team. Those are my guys.
All right, cool. A little bit more about that. What's up with that?
School lunch.
What's up with that movement?
School lunch, básicamente un canal que nosotros, mi equipo y yo, which me, Aaron, which is my manager's son, we made. And in school lunch, we talk about everything that we went through high school and everything, like everything in New York. We talk about, that's the real New York culture. We talk about everything and anything. Nice. And it's kind of something that we invented, and it's fun, and I think y'all should check it out. Go check out the YouTube, School Lunch TV.
Oh, I go. And do you have an Instagram for that too, or no?
Yes, we do. School Lunch TV.
Okay, so everything is School Lunch TV.
Everything is School Lunch TV.
All right, go check out School Lunch TV. You heard it right now. It's lit, baby. All right. The next one is sardines.
Ew. Po. A mí no me gustan las sardinas. Saben a culo, bro. Sigue. Ay, es tan asqueroso. No sé. Yo lo encuentro tan vaina because mi papá, like, he used to eat sardines straight from the can.
Oh, delicious.
Ay, él se lo comía straight off the can, boy. Y ese es como bajo. No. No me lo paso.
That's hilarious.
Hey, sardina. Yo como bacalao, pero no como sardina.
No, nah, bacalao be hit. You know the
Bacalao
vibes.
do hit, bro.
It
It does.
Bacalao guisado.
Guisado. Yo me
Oh,
comí
man.
bacalao guisado antes de venir para casa. Yo no sé cómo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yo no sé cómo yo paso bacalao y no sardina, pero no sé. Hay una diferencia entre las dos.
Yeah.
Vamos, pelean.
You don't really see the shape of the bacalao. You
No,
kinda see the shape
sabes, por la sardina,
of,
loco.
Yeah.
Pero ven acá, no sé si es por el olor o whatever, no sé. Pero me voy a la trompa con quien sea.
You gotta go
Dale.
to Spain. You'll probably eat this the Spanish sardines. They're delicious.
What you mean, like the caviar and shit?
Well, they taste a lot better coming
Okay.
from in Spain. Like they're known for like
Porque yo
Spain
probé
and
caviar,
Portugal,
bro.
yeah.
Y esa vaina
¿No te gustó?
no me gustó.
Really?
Because, bro, you feel the little things popping in your mouth. Como eso, no.
You
Ven
never ate it
acá.
with like crackers? That's delicious.
Ay, Dios mío, no. Eso
Oh,
es
man.
para gente echelon, los élite. Se lo pasan. Yo no.
Well, mija, that's where I plan to be. You know?
Yo quiero tener esos mismos lugares, pero sin estar, tú sabes, comer caviar.
All right, you know, when I see you at the top, I'll make sure that they don't give you no caviar. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
All right. The next word is Washington Heights.
Home.
Lit.
That's the hood. That's it. Ahí yo me crié, ahí nací. That's everything to me. Ahí yo aprendí de todo. Everything from the shit that I've been through all the way to music. Porque yo vivía al lado de unos jamaiquinos. Y después I had a neighbor upstairs that he would listen to straight rap music, and that's how I got into hip hop and I started rapping. And my favorite rapper is Mos Def, by the way. My Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
That's who influenced me the most. Mos Def.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you are different.
Yeah. So
Okay.
de ahí, and then the Jamaicans introduced me to dance hall, and then después de ahí, Mami is,
that dance hall would definitely be busting, baby.
What, bro? I was listening to Bashman, muchacho, desde el principio.
Vibes Cartel came out.
Come
already?
on, Vibes.
He's out?
Hell yeah,
He's out?
Vibes.
Good for him.
Ah, no. Bueno, no sé si el loco salió. Free my man.
Yeah, I think he came out though. I'm not. I gotta holla at
He should
my
free
mans.
him.
Gotta holla at my man's Denzel. All right, the next one is Cancer.
Cancer. Yo soy canceriana.
Okay.
Yo soy canceriana.
The sign Cancer.
Soy bien, I was about to say, You saw my eyes. Pero yeah, I'm a Cancer. I'm emotional.
Okay.
We're known for being emotional, pero no di que I'm not a crybaby in a sense que lloro por todo, because it's very difficult provocarme algo a mí. Pero I move a lot with emotion. Like everything that I do, it comes from the heart. Si lo hago es porque me salió de corazón.
Interesting.
And I take care of people a lot. I'm very motherly in that sense.
Yeah, I try to be fine, but I'm not emotional. I'm more like passionate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you're a July Cancer, right? 13?
Yeah.
I'm 16.
Yeah, I'm like 3 days before you.
Yeah. So
like,
estamos igual. We're very passionate people. Y cuando nos enfocamos en algo, it's just that.
Yeah, no, we're all about it. It's like 1,000%.
Yeah. I grow very easily in family-oriented spaces.
Yeah.
So me gusta que todo el mundo esté en buena vibra. I check for everybody. I check. ¿Tú estás bien? Okay, el camarógrafo está ahí. ¿Tú estás bien? Todo el mundo está bien aquí, pues me siento bien.
That's what's up, man.
¿Tú me entiendes, bro?
Cancer vibes, baby. All right, and the fifth and final word on 5 Words with Angel.
Now that pause was scary. Why are you so quiet? That pause was scary, spooky. Wow.
I'm dramatic. Well, you know, Cancer's
Más
dramatic.
loco. No me decía, coño, como que se me bajó la presión y todo. Se me bajó la presión y todo. Dale, rompe.
2025, March. Where will you be?
Touring.
Lit.
The first thing, touring con un álbum. Estoy pegado feo, pegado como un chicle viejo. Estoy, tú me entiendes, exploring and just growing with my team. You know, experiencing everything that I've always wanted to experience.
Fire.
That's what I see myself.
That's what's up. Now, everyone, don't forget that Leslie will be performing. And before we get to that portion of the situation, because she's bringing out the piano player too, guys.
Shout out to Angel. He's here.
Yo, for real. He's in the building. The hood.
El que tiene la mano mágica.
Yeah, tú sabes. The magic hands. Man, too bad Jessie's not here. She would have loved that.
Yeah.
I miss her. You know, I miss her.
Shout out, Jessie.
Shout out to Jessie. Before we let you go, Mama, could you give a message to the people out there that want to be artists? Let them know.
Ooh.
A message of inspiration.
Okay. Well, the first thing I want to tell you guys is to be patient. And I know that's something very cliche to say, but there literally isn't no formula to this. There's no formula to this whole experience. It's a experience that's going to challenge you not only musically, but also on a personal and spiritual level and mentally. Sometimes we have to be ready to receive blessings that we ask for. So the only thing I want to tell y'all is to make sure that you work on your discernment and you work on yourself as a person before receiving such blessings. And that's when the spiritual part of me comes in, where I'm just like, siempre pídele a Dios lo que tú quieras, pero a la misma vez pídale a Él también el discernimiento para poder mantener todo lo que tú pediste. Because I'm a strong believer in you actually have to know how to receive a blessing before you receive it. And you have to take care of it after receiving it. So just make sure your heart is solid and you're solid within yourself so that nothing can shake your foundation. And just be ready to learn. Be patient. Don't compare yourself to anybody because your journey is tailored to you. So even though if your friend gets popping tomorrow, your timing is your timing, and just stick to that. And that's about it.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
profound. Leslie, let everybody know where to find you at. You know what I mean? Give them all the information on the Leslie La Leona universe, honey.
That's funny because people call me La Leona, and I'm like, damn, that nickname stuck.
It's fire.
Yeah, all right. I appreciate it. It's funny that somebody gave it to me on IG. I did not come up with that on my own. They were like, tú eres como una leona, whatever. And I was like, damn, that's kind of fire. But anyways, you can follow me on Instagram. I am Leslie, IAMLEISLEY, because I do spell Leslie differently. And same thing on my other socials, YouTube, Facebook, LEISLEY. You'll find me.
Okay, and the school lunch again?
Oh, School Lunch TV also too. You can follow my crew with School Lunch TV
that sounds
on
like a
Instagram.
lot of fun.
It's mad fun, bro. Listen, I've done interviews on the street and stuff like that. It's a whole process.
Oh, dope.
So it's been very cool participating in that and actually content creating too. So
that's what's up. And where can they find? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Nah,
you.
go ahead. So Instagram is School Lunch TV. YouTube is School Lunch TV too.
All right, Leslie, thank you.
No, thank you,
She'll
bro.
be performing. Stay tuned to that. We got a piano player in the building. The keyboard is on deck today. That was Leslie from Washington Heights putting it down here on the Angel of Words podcast. Don't forget to tap on that subscribe button and, follow us on YouTube and all the podcast platforms. Shout out to the sponsors, Curtis Holmes and Brian J. Segura. Go get them photos.
Go get them photos.
Folks, if you want to know what's going on in the Angel of Words universe and you want to cop that merch, baby, go to AOWENT.com or you could DM us at Angel of Words ENT on every single social platform. Is all the same thing, at Angel of Words ENT. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Te quiero, Puerto Rico. Santa Isabel. The Angel of Words podcast.
Siente que esto es como una novela. Lo nuestro viene desde la escuela. Tú y yo solito con poca tela. Baby, dale hasta abajo y perrea, dale y perrea. Vamos a hacer amor. Espérame en la esquina de Adubón. Si hace frío, cantina y un traverón. Dime si no te haría cabrón. Imagínalo. Tú ibas haciendo lo rico en el balcón. No importa si hace frío en Nueva York. Tu cuerpo y el mío sean calor, sean calor. Na 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 na. La noche entera, si tú supieras esta fantasía, quiero hacerla real, es que me mata la bellaquera que tú y yo tenemos. Debe ser ilegal en tentaciones pensando. El tiempo sigue pasando, que estamos esperando. Cuando el vino estoy dándole. Recuerdo cuando salimos en secundaria, Ha pasado cuánto, oh, pero no olvido tu cara. Después de tanto, de este fin de semana, tú estás tentándome. Contigo quiero matar la gana. Tú estás tentándome. Contigo quiero matar la gana. Tú estás tentándome. Contigo quiero matar la gana.
The Angel of Words Podcast.